Hi, this is Saint Jerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. You might say a biblical crypto experience. Just 5 days from now, there's going to be a solar eclipse crossing the United States for the second time in 7 years. And there's a lot of crazy confusion about this. I've heard that the National Guard is being released to help in certain areas along the path of the eclipse. That's a little weird. Isn't the eclipse only going to last for 3 minutes, total darkness? Hmm. And then also, I hear that several states are telling the people along the path of the eclipse to stock up on food and water. Huh. The eclipse is 3 minutes long. Stock up on food and water. Well, they say that it's because all these people will be flooding area to see the eclipse. Well, they just drive home. So anyway, those two things sound pretty weird to me. Uh, and why are they saying all these things? Well, just before I leave off of this picture, this is a little creation I did using AI art. And this is the eclipse in the background. And below the eclipse is a wasteland of cryptocurrency. Now, when AI makes things, you say, do this, do that, it's kind of its own interpretation. So I thought I made several pictures or attempts, and I thought, oh, this one's not too bad. Kind of conveys the message anyway. So this is a solar eclipse and what it could do to cryptos. Many think that the eclipses are biblical events. 7 years ago, in 2017, an eclipse crossed the United States, going from Oregon back out through South Carolina. And coincidentally, it went through all these cities named Salem: Salem, Oregon, Salem, North Dakota, Salem, Wyoming, a little bit off the path, pretty darn close. Salem, Nebraska, Salem, Missouri, Salem, Kentucky, and Salem, South Carolina. So maybe not exactly over them, but that's a pretty straight path. What is Salem short for? Well, it is short for Jerusalem. So, that sounds somewhat biblical. Well, what about this eclipse? It's going to be on April the 8th. Is there anything biblical about that? Well, did you know that Jonah was told by God to go to Nineveh and have them repent? And he did not like Nineveh, so he ran away. Some giant fish of some kind, we believe, swallowed him up. He changed his mind in 3 days, and then he went back and he spoke to the people of Nineveh, and they repented of their sins, and God gave them more time. So Nineveh repented of their sins. I wonder if there's a biblical message here. The sign of Jonah. So if you look down the path here, and it may be a little wider, some people are saying, oh, it's not going right over Nineveh, but just like the Salems, that's pretty close. Interesting biblical names it goes over here. It goes over Nineveh in Texas, Nineveh in Indiana, Nineveh in Ohio, Nineveh in Pennsylvania, Nineveh in New York, and Nineveh in Nova Scotia. Oh, it also goes through Jonah, Texas. Sure, that's a coincidence too. It goes through the life-size uh, Ark, Noah's Ark in Kentucky, Williamson, Kentucky. I've been to that Ark. Wow, it's massive. So how could you possibly get so many animals on Ark? Well, if you've ever seen this thing, good night. That thing is humongous. You can wander for days inside of it. So wow, and it's an actual boat that would float. And then also it is Rapture, Indiana. All those things sound somewhat biblical, but what's that got to do with the cryptocurrency, Saint Jerome? What the heck? I'm sure it's all this is just a coincidence, and I'm kind of flying off the handle. Uh, Probably nothing. Let's see what happens. So there you got the path of the eclipse on August the 21st, 2017. And then you got the path of the eclipse on April the 8th, 2024. And it crosses over Salem, Kentucky. Wow. It marks an X. So that part of like Kentucky, Southern Illinois area, it's formed an X. Did you know in different eclipses across the world, when there is a crossed path, that earthquakes soon followed? What is that near? Now, this is no prediction. I'm just saying these are strange coincidences, and maybe you should be a little prepared just in case. Doesn't hurt to be prepared. What is around that area that could be a problem if that's true? The New Madrid fault? What? Yeah, New Madrid is in that area, and it is a huge, huge fault line that hasn't blown apart here for a while. I think last time was in the 1800s, but when it had massive earthquakes, they think it was around, say, 7.5 to 8.2 or so, probably closer to 8. It actually rang the Liberty Bell in Pennsylvania. What? And the Mississippi ran backwards. What? Why wasn't there a lot of destruction and stuff we heard about? Well, this is the 1800s and early 1800s, so there wasn't a lot in that area at that time. So, huh, that is interesting. Some people are saying that there could perhaps be a solar flare, and that solar flare could be massive and it could cause an EMP type of an event in the United States that could blow out all the electronics that aren't protected. And most electronics aren't protected. So let's just think you're storing cryptocurrencies on electronic devices, and boom, all of a sudden all the electrical items go out, your cell phones, your computers, etc., if they're not protected. So what can you do to stop that? Well, one thing you could do is make a Faraday cage, a Faraday bag. A simple one you can do is insulate a steel garbage can with cardboard, plastic. Now, the trick is you have to really engulf whatever item it is fully in the kind of inert container. And I'm a little paranoid. I think I would like double insulate on the inside. And then after you put the lid on top of the garbage can, make sure there's no holes and leakage. They make metal tape that you can put over those holes and seal them up. So you get quite a few things of importance in one of those. So that's one way to protect your electronics is in a Faraday cage. Now, before I go any farther, let me just say, if nothing else, be sure you have your seed words written down for all your electronic wallets that you have. And if even if everything got fried, eventually the grid comes back up and you have those seed words, you can start again and get another wallet. So uh, if you have the seed words, you can bring it up on like an Exodus wallet or Konami wallet or a new Trezor or Ledger. There's a lot of ways you can bring those up. So be sure you have your seed words just in case, and that's just good advice all the time. But doesn't hurt to have some of this in a Faraday cage, maybe some extra radios you have, or maybe if you're really afraid, put your cell phones in there, put your computers in there. That's possible. Now, do you have to make your own? Well, no, folks. They actually make a lot of Faraday bags you can get now. It's a little close to the Eclipse, but Amazon's pretty good at shipping stuff pretty quickly. So if you want to get pre-made stuff, that would be good too. This is not a very good picture, but it shows some commercially made Faraday bags, and they come in all sorts of sizes. You get big enough for laptops, small enough for cell phones. They make Faraday bags that are like duffel bags. They make Faraday bags that are like great big duffel bags. You put a whole bunch of stuff in there. Now, how these things work, same basic principle. They have a special mesh on the inside that is blocks the solar flare, the EMP uh, protection that it offers, and they work real well. I've experimented with these, and most of them work fine. Now, you can test out things ahead of time by putting, say, a cell phone in there and try calling it, and that helps you know if it's been blocked or not. Or put a radio in there, and if it won't pick up any radio waves, then there's a good chance it's going to be good. Now, there's no promises. I'm not an expert and not a scientist. I have heard about these Faraday bags for quite a while, though. So I was investigating them during Y2K time, and I think you can make your own and put some things away. Prudent to take, especially if you're a crypto person, maybe prudent to do some. Well, I don't make this a big long commercial for Ballet wallets, but it's an example of a wallet that doesn't need any electronics. So a Ballet Wallet has the private key on the inside underneath the sticker and part of the passphrase, and you have them both together. Now, to be honest, though, you're going to need some kind of electronic to bring it back up eventually. But at least you don't have to worry about your seed words getting destroyed because they are not on electronic here. This is a credit card size device made out of steel. Some are gold plated. They're a little bit more expensive. These are about 35 bucks roughly or so. They have guards on them to keep people from counterfeiting them. If you remove the sticker on the outside, it will blow the hologram that's covering it up and make it so you can tell someone got into it. But you don't have to have a ballet wallet. You can do a paper wallet too. So those are some non-electronic devices you can store and still have your different cryptocurrencies aboard them. So just some thoughts. And as I leave you today, this is another AI art project I had. That is me in my podcast studio. Let's see. There's the AI version of me. And there's me. What? You think we're a perfect match, don't you? So, well, thanks for tuning in today. I do have a lot of different offers down below. I have my contest going for 440 subscribers. That's getting close. If you join Patreon, I will reimburse your first fee on the lower tier with an equal amount of cryptocurrency uh, for the first month only, of course, like that. I like to build up my Patreon too. But the biggest thing you can do for me is to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have another crypto AI experience coming soon, provided that we still have everything up after the earthquake. Did I say earthquake? After the solar eclipse. Didn't mean earthquake at all. Bye.